Well, good morning and welcome to the Sudoku channel. This is Oliver coming to you from Youghal by the Sea in Ireland over here in Europe, and we're going back through the archives of the Telegraph newspaper in the UK, and we're looking at their Diabolical Sudoku of the 26th of March 2021, and their serial number for that is 5445. Now, this is part 2 of a two-part video. Part 1, we looked at this puzzle and we used basic solving techniques until we came to a halt. And this is where we finished up. And if you remember at the end of that video, I said I could see an X-Wing based on the 8s, and I'll just highlight them here now. Here and here we have two 8s. So that's called a base for an X-Wing. We've got two 8s there, and we now look for another two 8s. Since we're using columns in this case, is there another column with two 8s? And there is over here. There are two 8s here. Now, the way it works, and there is a link down below in the in the tutorials, sorry. And I think it's tutorial number 7 or number 8 that looks at basic X-Wings. So have a look at that if you haven't used them before. It's fairly straightforward. Take any one of the 8s and say, okay, suppose this is 8. Well, if it's an 8, then this is not an 8. Therefore, this is an 8. Which means you're going to get rid of any other 8s along here or any other 8s along here. That is if that was an 8. Suppose it's not an 8. Well, we only have two 8s here. That means this one is an 8, which means we'll also get rid of 8s along here. If that's an 8, this isn't. And if that isn't, then this one must be. So either way, we're going to get rid of the 8s along row 1 and row 9. So let's do that now for starters. Actually, no, there's another one I just wanted to mention to you here at this stage. I also found a nice little chain. If you haven't done single chains before, there is a tutorial down below on single chains. Well worthwhile having a look at that, and also have a look at strong weak links. Now the chain I'm talking about, if I can find it again, it starts off here. Okay, let's start it off now. So it goes from there to here. Now that's a strong link. If that's not a 2, then this is a 2. This is a weak link. If that is a 2, this is not a 2. And if that is not a 2, then this is a 2. So if that's not a 2, this is a 2. Check the other way around. If this is not a 2, then that's a 2. That's not a 2. This is a 2. Whether this is a 2 or is not a 2, we'll have the opposite one being true or false. Which means we can get rid of the intersection of those two, which would be this 2 over here. So do you know what? Let's just get rid of that 2 there now since we are here. Exclude 2. It's hard to get rid of things on this software, I have to say. Now the other one we're looking was with the X-Wing, which was 8, 8 and 8, 8, and we can get rid of any other 8s, so we can get rid of that 8 there. And we can also get rid of this 8 here. Now, getting rid of that 8 up here means that we now have a 7, so stick in our 7 there. And that got rid of a 7 down here, giving us a 1. Now we're going to have an 8 here as well. I'll do that in a minute. On the 1s, is there anything else? Well, we can see now... No, that's okay. There's an 8 up here. And that seems to be it. Just looking through it, we've now come to a shuddering halt. I had hoped to go a little bit further than that, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought I was going to be able to get rid of some 1s here, but it doesn't look possible. Just have a look and see the binaries. Oh, we've a lot of binaries there. Bound to be able to make some use of that and get rid of something in here. I think that will be... Okay, look, I'm not going to waste your time while I go humming to myself. Try to find something. I might use the good old Medusa colouring technique and see if that will do something. The 7s. I might try looking at some of the 7s there, or 7s over here. Okay, look, I'll be back to you in a minute. Right, well, here we go. This is where we stopped there, and nothing like having a cup of tea and having a fresh look at everything. I want to show you something called a bent triple, or I think it's called a Y-wing. Somebody else can let me know in the comments, have I called that the right thing or not. It's where you have a triple, but there's a bend in it, an elbow, and you've got the two legs, one leg here and one leg here. So it's not an actual triple, it's a bent triple, and usually you can get rid of one candidate on one of those legs. Now the way you do it is you go to either this end or this end, and it doesn't really matter which end you go to. And suppose we go here and we say, if this is an 8, well, if that is an 8, then this is not an 8, and we have 2 3 2 3, which is a conjugate pair, and that'll get rid of this 2 here. So that's if that was an 8. If it was a 2, well, we're going to get rid of the 2 anyway. Now we can do a similar thing if we went over to this end of the leg. Suppose that's a 3. Then this is not a 3, so we have 2 8, 2 8, a conjugate pair, but this time in the column. And that conjugate pair of 2 8 will get rid of this 2. But if that's a 2, you get rid of the 2 anyway. So we can see now that we can always get rid of this 2 here in this cell. So let's just get rid of that 2 now. And see what happens. If we're lucky, this will be the end of it. And I'm always glad. Oh, there's an 8. Oh, I worried there for a while. And there's a 4. And it didn't. Oh, there's a 3 down there. Okay. Keep going, lads. We might get there yet. And there is a 2 down here. We'll get rid of that 8. And 3. Come on, keep going. Don't let me down now. Oh. We have come to a juddering halt. What have I missed out? Oh yeah, look it over here. This 1919 is a conjugate pair for the column and also for the house. Well, look at it for the column first. We have a 1919. That means we can get rid of 1 and 9 in this cell. So we'll exclude the 1, and now we'll exclude the 9. Well, that do it. We can also get rid of 1 and 9 in here, but we'll keep going. We'll go on the 8 first. And, okay. Get rid of the 1 and 9 in here. So we'll get rid of the 1 there. Get rid of the 9 there, not make a 9, exclude a 9. And we'll exclude the 9 here as well. Now, where do we get us? 6 here, we'll get a 5 up there, it gives us a 7 down here, and a 4 up here, and I am hopeful now. Yeah, I think we have done it. Come on. There's a 9, that's all right. No, I'm sure this is it. I can't see there being any more. We've got a 1 2 1 2. There's a 1 here to do it for us as well. And a 9, there's a 9 down there, and that'll give me the 1 here, so right, and a 1, and a 6, and a 2, yeah. Ah, yes, is he. It's easy when you come to the end, isn't it? Things are always easy when you know the answer. That's what my father used to say to me. All questions are easy when you know the answer. When you don't know the answer, no matter how simple the question is, if you don't know the answer, it's hard. Okay, and 5 will finish it off. Okay, that's it. Do you know what? It was a nice one, although it took a bit of finishing off, didn't it? We started off there. What did we start off with? Didn't we have the X-Wing? And we also had a singles chain using alternating inference chain. So that was those two, and then we had the Y-wing down here. Very interesting. I enjoyed it. It wasn't, well, I didn't find it too bad. I'm sure if you hadn't done these advanced techniques, you would be still tearing your hair out. So I hope you learned something from these, and I hope you find them useful. If you do, be sure and subscribe and click on the bell so that you'll be informed automatically when the next one comes out, and the next one will probably be coming out on Friday. Now, thanks to everybody who put in your comments there on video 1. I haven't really got a chance to go through them all, and I would have used some of those here, but I'd already started on the solution, so I decided I'd just keep going where I was. Look, thanks again for following and supporting. Oh, did you know this channel was a year old last whenever it came out first, last week sometime. It was a year old, which is great. So thank you all for supporting and keeping it going. What did I say? Subscribe, click the bell and all the rest of it. And until the next day, which I think is going to be 1st of December, well, slán tamil.